Some people think heaven is going to be boring, floating around on the cloud, plucking the harp, or in my case, playing my accordion. I don't know. Or that may be hell. I don't know what that is for some people. But, you know, they think it's going to be boring, or they think it's going to be one unending church service. Does that get anybody excited? Come on, be honest. Nobody gets excited about that. We're going to talk in the next broadcast about what we're actually going to be doing in heaven. So I think people have that myth. I think they also have the myth that heaven's going to be the same for everybody. It's not. The Bible says there are rewards in heaven, and our rewards are based on our works as Christians. You know, good works do absolutely nothing to secure your place in heaven, but they have everything to do with the kind of heaven we experience. But I think that perhaps the greatest misunderstanding people have about heaven is that when we die, we become somebody else in heaven. No, it's not somebody else who's going to be in heaven. It is we who are going to be in heaven. You know, and I don't mean to delve into this, but you brought it up. I think about Robin. You know, it's been, I guess, about 5 years
Almost
since
that.
God called her to heaven. You know, that daughter of yours that you are going to see one day, it's going to be Robin you see. It's not somebody else. She's going to have her same name. Did you know we retain our names in heaven? You say, how do you know that, Pastor? Well, when Moses and Elijah came back from heaven on the Mount of Transfiguration, it was Moses and Elijah. That was their name. Now, God may give us an additional name, but we retain our original names. We have the same interests and personalities that we do here on earth. We don't become somebody else. We have that same personality, the gifts and interests, which, by the way, may aid us in our new job that we have in heaven. And we even are going to be recognizable in heaven. I think there are going to be things about your daughter, things about my mom and dad physically that I recognize. You say, where do you get that in the Bible? Well, Jesus, his body was a prototype of our bodies, the Bible says. He was the firstborn of the dead. He was the prototype, the Greek word says, of our bodies. And when Jesus' disciples saw him, they recognized him. Not immediately, because they didn't expect to see him again, but they eventually recognized him. And I think that means we're going to know one another in heaven as well. So those are just some of the misunderstandings I try to clear up in a place called heaven.